Welcome back to the weekend show. Joining us right now in the lifestyle segment are
Fiammari Zoaka.
Hi.
And of course, Solomon Obio.
Hello.
Solomon is a feminist, a women's rights activist, and an entrepreneur. Fiammari is a media specialist. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us in today's program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our topic today is Small Boy, Big Goddess. A lot of you who are not in the social media age, you might not know where this saying comes from, but I'll give Fiammari the chance to explain this one to most of you.
Of course, on social media, there's been this phenomenon, this case of small girl, big God. You just see a little girl with a selfie behind a Range Rover and all that, and then with a comment on Instagram, small girl, big God. And it's actually a euphemism for certain kind of things that are happening these days, things people do to make money, things that are not really so moral or legitimate. But we've seen that a lot with women. But we've also seen a rising trend with men.
Yes, so on the weekend show, we're going to give it a little slant. How about the men who date women for money or to profit off of them? So today we have small boy, big goddesses who are going to discuss that. I'll take you on, Solomon. What do you think of this phenomenon? Men, they're typically called gigolos, men who depend on women for money. What do you think about that?
Well, do we have licensed sex workers that are females? So if we have that for females, why can't we have that for males? I mean, these days we have rising trends of gender parity. Women are advocating more. I mean, give me some, liberty to provide. I mean, you've seen that in recent trends. So if we have women who can provide, who can do all of this, and they need some men who would relieve them of some stress. So why wouldn't they have that? Of course, definitely I don't see anything wrong with that, but of course you might want to argue morally, there might be something wrong with it, but I feel if women can do it, men can.
Men can do it as well.
What women can do?
You know what? We actually went to the streets and we asked everyday Nigerians their thoughts on this. So in line with Solomon's response, I want to play that video right now. Take a look.
Due to the condition of the country, so many people can do the undoable. You understand? But for me, I don't think I can sleep with a woman. No, nothing will ever make me sleep with a woman because of money. Any money that is not pure, that is not clean, I don't think I will do it.
Yeah, for sure. Depend on how much you want to pay me. Like you see, how this country is going and how things are going in this country. If they can offer me more cash, I can do it. There's no big deal. Depend on how much you want to pay me. That is it.
As the thing they be so, I don't go feed one more because we don't know the kind of sickness where the woman go get. Maybe the woman be that kind of woman where carry gonorrhea or we carry something, and I can't do it because it's outside, as in the Bible. I can't do it because it's just as if I'm committing fornication, and I can't do it. I can't do it at all.
Oga, this question get as if you. If she get front, she get back. Me, even they no pay myself, I go do am. But if everyone no good, I go charge her and I go still do am again. You understand? You know how she dey be now.
I won't do it too. Why? Because one, I'm married. Two, on a moral ground, I won't do it.
My brother, where this country where we dey now, nothing where no fit go. As far as no be thief now. If not thief now, we go run away from. But if it depends on how much way the girl go pay. And me and she go talk about how we go take do am. If na robber, I go agree. But if not be robber, no say the girl get something for mine. But if na robber, we go fit do am. Na no be money. Na money na she won't give me now. I go collect.
Of course, I won't do that because I don't know who she is, and I'll just go and sleep with her just like that. I won't do that.
Yes, I can, because for this regime where we dey now, if you no do am, no go feed yourself. If you go thief now, na jail you go go. But the only thing wey be say, as everything don hard now, everywhere don hard. So if na robber, I will use robber. If no be robber, so I can do am anyhow because my stomach.
No, for what? I can't sleep with a woman just because of money. I can sleep with a woman because of passion I get for her, because I love her, because I have feeling for her. I can't sleep with woman because of money.
Yes, as long as I'm single and if it's a good amount of money, depending on the amount of money being paid and depending on the kind of woman.
I would do it because in this country we dey, people.
Apologies for that. We're having issues with the audio, but we'll bring you that video shortly. Back to you, Fiammari. So what's your response to that? Do you believe women should sponsor men? You know, we have the issues of what they call runs girls, young women who depend on men, elderly men, for their provision, for the sustenance of their lifestyle. Do you believe we can have, now that we're calling for gender equality and gender parity, do you believe that men can also do this as well?
Firstly, I feel that it is wrong generally on both sides, both men or women. And for a long time, it's been about women and sex working and all those. But coming back to men, now going that way, they can tie wrapper as well now and go into the streets, wear high heel shoes and rub lipstick. A man is meant to work, a man is meant to toil. A man is supposed to break the ground and get his earnings. But if he's going the other way, taking the lazy route for women providing for him to sustain his lifestyle, to cut his hair, to fuel his car, to buy him new cars, take him to Dubai, nah, that's not a man. That's not a man.
But let's look at the broader, context of why this is beginning to look permissible. The fact that people can tie God to whatever happens to them, whatever they make, even if they are proceeds of illegitimate or immoral actions. Does this suggest that maybe our religious institutions, our traditional institutions, our social traditions, are complicit in a system that has created this permissiveness for people to just do anything they like, and they can actually come to church and pay their tithes and offerings in the name of
small boy, big goddess.
How I wish it was the old days where God used to just do the thing like this. A lot of money would have gone the other way, the smoke. As far as I'm concerned, if it's not legal, it's not legal. It's not right. I just feel that it is morally wrong for a man to just go the other way.
But is our society encouraging this?
Our society is encouraging it. It's encouraging it.
I would like to come in there. You see, there's this phrase I coined at one point. You see, Africa, we are very, very religious, but yet we are unproductive. Why don't we ask ourselves that questions? You see a lot of people going to church. The number of churches in Africa, how many? Like every nook and cranny, we have churches, but yet our productivity level is really, really low. That's because we focus so much on what people will say, what people will do. I heard him say stuff like, it's wrong for a man to, if we have, you would agree with me that we have women who can do better than some men. You would agree with me.
That's
very
right.
Intelligent, appropriate, their leadership qualities, it's unquestionable.
Exactly.
So what would you say with such a lady meeting a guy, she knows she can be more productive in this aspect? Someone needs to take care of the chores. Someone needs to do, let's not talk as if the guy is not doing stuff. Who cooks?
So you're saying the guy can be doing the cooking while the woman is chasing the money?
I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay.
I don't either.
Okay.
I don't either. I actually agree with Solomon in this.
I know you wouldn't. All right, let me say something. I have a friend who is a professional chef. He does good cooking, better than the partner. So who does the cooking at home? Isn't it supposed to be based on competence? Who does it better?
Why not train the woman to be a good cook?
Why waste that? Why waste that? That is the point of being so religious. We are so concerned of what people will say, but yet we are unproductive. A lot of intellectual resources are wasting in form of women because they are meant to.
Physical resources too.
Well, how does that relate
you'd say that.
How does that relate to big boy, small boy, big goddess?
We want to talk about productivity. I wish you were female, but you are not female. If we are partners and you are female and male, and obviously you are better intellectually than myself, and which I agree to that, and definitely your earnings are more than mine, and we come up with having a baby, would you want me to ask you to quit your job so I can have my ego as a man. When it shows you are earning way better than myself, okay, let's say in the Nigeria of today, you are earning close to 700,000, and I'm earning, okay, let's say 150 or 200, who quits? I mean, we need money.
Very valid question, because we've
quits?
actually heard people sending stories to the Weekend Show where a woman, for one instance, was a woman who lived in Kaduna and her husband lived in Abuja.
I heard that.
She was earning upwards of 700,000. He was earning maybe 200,000. And he told her to quit her job that was paying over 200% of what he was earning to relocate to Abuja just because he's the man. So, Fiammari, how do you react to this? Do you still hold that stance? Do you still hold that position that men are always meant to take charge, that they can't sometimes take the back seat to a woman's work and, you know, just do the other chores that is stereotypically meant for women?
I don't believe in stereotypes, but this small boy, big goddess issue is my problem. Why would a man work, have sex for money? It doesn't sit well with me in any way, in any form. It's just morally wrong. If you care about morals, it's socially wrong. Can men get pregnant? I'm coming.
You are going too far. You are
Can
going too far.
men
You are
get
going
pregnant?
too far.
No, can men get pregnant?
Well, men cannot get pregnant, but who says people that do chores are the only ones who get pregnant?
I never said.
I think to tie into what I think Fiammari is trying to say, are we encouraging a situation where we now have men as baby daddies?
Okay,
so
let me give you a scenario. I would
where you see one man, one woman, one single man, but has like, you know, it's a baby daddy to like 5 different.
That's how you want to call it. But very interestingly, there's this social media marriage that is really, really captivating. The story of Gabriela Union and Dwayne Wade. She's way older than him. How many years? But you would want to look at it in the context of, you might not really know, but they have that love, that synergy is there, that understanding is there. So if we have men who marry women they are 10 years older than, why can't we have women who marry men they are way older than? If that love is there, why question these people? The most important thing is, are they causing, will I say, societal imbalance, or are they disturbing anyone with their love life?
So
they are being productive.
Is this the kind of career path that a man wants to pursue? So sleeping with women for money or getting women pregnant and you get paid?
Let me rephrase.
Is that really something you
let
think?
me rephrase. Let me rephrase. The so-called runs girls, in quotes, most times they would want to say they're in a relationship with the particular whoever they're going out with. What is wrong with me having a relationship with an older woman who takes care of me? What is wrong with that? It doesn't make me less of a human.
I feel that you're getting it wrong there.
Why?
Aaron's girl does not have any emotional affiliation to anybody. She just
who told you? Who
collects her
said
money
so?
and she moves.
No.
And they are now making it seem like the guy too should collect his money and move.
Hold on. We've
and
seen,
keep moving and keep reproducing and being a baby daddy.
We've seen cases of many runs girls. People would say, she used to be a runs girl, but she's getting married. So how come? Would you say she didn't have emotional attachment to these partners? Of course they do. We are all humans. We are all humans. We have that emotional part of us. Whether you like it or not, we feel something for people.
But we've seen guys who don't stay in one place, who make money off women here and there, here and there, here and there.
Eventually,
so one woman bought the Range Rover, another woman built the house, another woman is sponsoring the vacations.
Well, if I'm handsome enough that a lot of women are hovering over me, I mean.
Wow. And you know what? Because we rarely see people being blatantly honest about issues like this, especially when it comes from a male perspective. It's very easy to demonize women and say, oh, she's a runs girl, she does this, she does that for money. But we rarely talk about the male angle. So I'm glad we're able to discuss this topic today on the program. And Solomon is able to, tell stories of real people. But I really want us to take it back to the streets. We had a lot of men react to this topic, and the responses were quite surprising and hilarious at the same time. So I really hope we fixed our audio now. So take a look at what we have.
Okay, this not yet.
Not yet? Okay, so we're still here in the studio. We'll bring that to you once the audio is fixed. So Solomon, again, do you have any personal stories? Because I see you're also passionate about this. Do you have any personal stories with an experience like this?
Okay, I wouldn't say it's personal per se. You see, I'm a researcher, so I love to, go in depth to see what could be causing, I call them contemporary African issues. What could affect women's productivity? That's how I call them. Yeah, these are contemporary. If you want to dig deep, we may not live here today. I call them contemporary African issues because it's clogged down to we looking at it from a very, very narrow perspective instead of looking at the greater good. I mean, why waste intellectual resources? For me, as a person, I've met lovely women. I wouldn't say I was in a relationship with them, but I've met women who are so much interested of my well-being, how my future would be well-shaped, no strings attached, really. So I would ask myself, if these women could think this well of me, why should men demand, sex in return for, you know how it goes the other way around. So that means you can have women who genuinely want you to do well. And I ask myself, what if these women wanted something romantic with me? What if? Not, it takes two to tango. You understand? What if? Would there be anything wrong with it? I didn't see anything wrong, but well, for me, I wouldn't say I subscribe to it, like, having anything to do with them. But for then, at that point, I had a thought, like, what if these women wanted something to do with me? There's virtually nothing wrong. I mean, if I love someone and someone loves me, for me, age is just a scam. Let me put it that way.
Fiammari, how does a woman identify a gigolo? Because most men get into this relationship most women get into this relationship without actually knowing. They might think that the guy loves her, he actually wants to, because most of these gigolos start off by paying for little stuff, then eventually that just stops and you find out you're the one providing for them. So how do women identify from the get-go that this man is a small boy, big goddess, is a gigolo?
I used to be very active in Abuja nightlife, clubs and lounges, and I experienced this a lot, where guys come to the clubs looking all groomed, looking very sharp, their eyebrows are shaped, they're looking well chiseled. These guys sleep in the gyms 16 hours, and then they're by the bar drinking a cocktail, and then this woman is trying to get something sorted out. And this guy just goes to her, maybe one or two things, and she says, maybe let's pay for something maybe, and just form chatty and conversation. Give it 3 weeks down the line, they come back to the club together, and they're looking all cozy. And then the guy is driving the lady's car. He came on Uber the last time. And then probably the person has stepped up a bit. See, these guys are like every other human being. They're just well-groomed. They just set themselves up. They just set up, basically. And then, like predators, they just pay for their prey. They just crouch in the corner. And then when there's a small loophole, they just go for it.
And what makes it quite disturbing is the fact that they don't stay in one place. We're not talking of... Solomon, you seem to be talking about the fact that, okay, I can find comfort, peace, and just stay in one place. But these small boys with big goddesses, they actually move from one goddess to another.
Well, I would still bring back the fact that if we don't see anything wrong with women doing this, we shouldn't see anything wrong with men doing this. As long as these women are not complaining. I mean, we see some females who don't want to be in a relationship. They just want to have their thing going. So how do they satisfy those needs? Someone needs to satisfy those needs. Come on.
So you don't even subscribe to the religious, traditional, and moral angle that sees the man as the breadwinner. The man is supposed to till the soil.
Oh, come on. Come on. Most men have become something else. You would agree. Most men actually have become something else. Allow these women to exhibit themselves. Allow these women to be their best. Allow these women to come up to, to be something you even appreciate. I'll tell you a story of a family I know. It started off with him earning more than her. But eventually, she's doing so well, you wouldn't even know. She's doing so well that I think she earns 3 times more than he does. So would you say he should feel bad? He shouldn't drive her car? Or, you understand? I mean, so, okay, how about the unmarried ones, the single ones? How do they satisfy those needs? Needs must be met. People must meet needs. I don't see anything wrong with it. Seriously. I mean, I'm advocating for gender equality. Allow women to be comfortable, to exhibit themselves, as long as it doesn't hurt the next person. I mean, we are adults, we are adults. So allow people to exhibit themselves. Women must have equal rights.
Let's look at the dynamics of most relationships, especially marriages now. A lot of the women are carrying the brunt of the financial responsibility now in most marriages. Although they come out and say, oh, my husband, thank you so much for this, thank you so much for that. But in reality, they're the ones buying it for themselves. So it doesn't have to do with small girl, big god, or small boy, big goddess, but it's just the reality of what's going on, the financial situation in the house. households. I remember someone was sharing this story with me that when she's going to work in the morning, her husband is in bed all day. He's just on his laptop playing. He would even ask her, please get me newspapers, come back, give it to him in
the
bed.
man might actually be working.
Excuse me,
You know,
it's a
for some
partnership.
for people like us who are
It's
into
a contractor.
online publishing and blogging, you know, that's how Linda Keji started by blogging on her computer. Now she's just ordered a Bentley for her newborn baby.
It's supposed to be a partnership.
You
It's
can
supposed to be a
actually just be on the
partnership.
computer and you're actually making lots of money.
No, he's not
Legitimate
making lots of money. He's not making
you're
any
getting it
money.
wrong.
So she's basically taking care of everything. And he still expects her to come back home, cook, take care of the kids, and do all the house chores and responsibilities. So, Fiammari, I know you're against small boy, big goddesses. How do you respond to that? Because this is the reality of what's going on ground today. Women are taking the major responsibility when it comes to finances in their homes, but they just can't come out and say it because tradition, religion teaches us that we're meant to be submissive, we're meant to be humble, we're not meant to say these things, we're meant to give all credit to our husbands. So how do you respond to this? Is this fair on women?
Personally, I respect women that work hard. I respect women that can take care of their homes. It's not really about being the man or being the head of the home, as far as I'm concerned. It's about providing for a family, building a stable home for your children or for yourself, basically. But my problem still goes back to men that would leave their jobs or would not want to work at all and pry on these women that are working hard for themselves and providing them a service that is wrong in the name of collecting bread back.
Well, that's the reality in marriages. So I'm not even talking about the relationships outside of marriage, which we understand is morally wrong, but it happens, right? But we're talking about in marriages. This is a man and a woman who have said together forever, for better, for worse, and now the man is solely relying on the woman for finances and still expects her to play the role of a woman.
For that, in marriages, if a man loses his source of financing and it so happens that the woman has to take responsibility at that time, then why not? You've agreed to come together for better, for worse. So why not, if he's not available for you at that point in time financially, and you have the finances to take care of the home front, then do it. If it was the other way around, if you had been doing all this while, it's like now this thing that we want equality, women want to be equal to men. So if men are now being deficient home-wise, want equality, then take care of the home front.
So you'd agree there's nothing wrong with the small boy, big goddess?
I don't agree with that one.
you just admitted to
marriage is different.
Oh, please,
from hustle.
please. It starts somewhere before marriage.
Marriage is different from
It
hustle.
It starts somewhere before marriage. It starts somewhere.
Solomon, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, we couldn't bring you that Vox Pop from the street, but you can find it on our website, www.weekendshow.ng.com. We'll take a short break right now. After this, we'll bring you the political segment of the Weekend Show. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Paul. See, you know, I've talked to friends, cousins. You guys have said different things, but, you know, I can understand one thing from what you guys are telling me. Let me know if I'm